How many of you are scared of exams? Raise your hands. Me too. And how many of you are scared of interviews? Raise your hand. Me too. And how many of you are scared of public speaking? Raise your hand. Me too. How I wish public speaking was as easy as lifting weights for me. Thank God they asked me to speak about sports today. Talking about sports, women in sports have shattered barriers, redefined standards, and set a new benchmark of excellence. Despite these advances, there's a glaring gender gap that persists in sports. And this gap not only affects the athletes themselves, but the whole society at large. I'm a standing example here who've challenged and broke into the male-dominating sport powerlifting. When I wanted to do powerlifting, everybody told me it's a male sport and there's no place for a woman here. That was my first and biggest motivation. To prove them wrong, I went to become a champion. See, I come from a middle-class family with no sports background. All my family members are into business or profession. So the only exposure to sports I had was during my school days when I used to be a state badminton player. Later, I had to let go of the game because there was a lot of costume restrictions from home. I come from a conservative family. My parents did not allow me to wear skirt and continue the game. So I sacrificed my dream of becoming a national player. I got married at 18, and with my husband's support, I completed my dental degree and became a dental surgeon. See, my whole life revolved around my clinic, home, kids. I was leading a life like any other working married woman. Only after the delivery of my second kid, I put on a lot of weight. So I went to the gym to reduce those extra kilos. And that's where I saw a lot of men were lifting very heavy weights. And I was amazed to see how they were able to lift such big weights when they do not have big muscles like bodybuilders. So when I asked my trainer there, he told me it's a men's sport called powerlifting. And he said, "Madam, don't even think about lifting. It's not for women. And definitely not for married women with kids because it needs very hard training." He said, "Go pick up that pink dumbbell and start doing your bicep exercise." Pink dumbbell, seriously? I felt so insulted. I asked him, in what way a woman is not capable of doing any sport? The rod that we lift, is that going to know whether it's a man or a woman lifting it? It's going to treat us equally. I said, if a man can do it, I can do it as well. So with that mindset, I decided I have to try out this sport. To be very honest, I was very hesitant at first because it required a lot of time and dedication, and I was starting at the age of 40. Added to it, being a doctor, a mother, I thought it would be extremely difficult to do the balancing act. But when I asked myself, what have I achieved for myself in life, I had nothing substantial to say. All our lives as women, we take care of someone else. We take care of our home, family, kids. We never do anything for ourselves. So I decided I'll take up this challenge. I knew if I did not take it up now, I will repeat it for the rest of my life. So with that mindset, I started off on this new journey. My journey was full of challenges. My first challenge was to find a coach. Despite approaching several coaches, no one was willing to give me coaching because nobody believed in me. Eventually, one coach came forward to give me his assistance. I was very excited. And I remember my first day of training. He told me, there is no technique involved. Powerlifting means use all your power and lift. I guess he thought I was a superwoman. And later when I started to assume I was one. Later, I came to realize that he had no knowledge about lifting and he was just using me for his financial gains. Because of improper techniques, I had multiple injuries. I even had a muscle tear and I was out of lifting for 2 months. After facing serious setbacks from previous coaches, I turned to YouTube to learn about powerlifting. And that's where I saw a lot of women around the globe lift very heavy weights. And that motivated me that when they can do it, I can do it too. So I decided to try it out myself. I started crafting my own training schedule and started practicing daily. To be very honest, it was not easy. I made a lot of mistakes. I used to feel very disappointed, but I never gave up. I kept correcting myself. Each day brought new hope for me. And eventually, it took a year till I got it correct. Few months later, there was a competition held in my district, and I decided to take part. I thought this was the best opportunity to showcase my skills. I participated, I gave my best, and I won bronze. I was super excited because this medal boosted my confidence. People started recognizing my talent and they came forward to give me coaching. Like I said, my journey was full of challenges, but each challenge strengthened me to be the person I am today. I used to practice 4 to 5 hours a day, every day. There were no holidays. I kept myself away from friends, social media, social gatherings, movie nights, and I was only concentrating on sport. My diet also was totally modified, no junk food. Sometimes my body used to go through so much pain, I used to think, why did I even take it up? But never ever wanted to give it up. After dedicated practice for 2 years, I started winning medals. I have approximately around 30 district gold medals. I have 10 state gold medals. I have 5 strong women titles in my name. I'm 4 times national gold medalist with 5 national records in my name. After winning gold at Federation Cup, I was selected to represent our country at Asian Powerlifting Championship, which was held at Hong Kong. There were 9 men and 9 women selected, and I was the only woman selected from my state. It was a pride for me, to wear that tricolor jersey and fly with the Indian team. See, no one knew about me, and no one expected me to win a medal. But I had decided, coming this far, I am not going back without a medal, because a lot of people have faith in me, and I cannot let them down. See, the competition there was very tough. We had participants from Kazakhstan, Iran, Iraq, Sri Lanka, but I gave my best, and I won gold for India. For the very first time, when I stood on that victory stand and saw a national flag being raised above all flags and national anthem being sung, it was a moment of pride. I had goosebumps all over my body. It was that minute I realized my 4 years of hard work and sacrifice was worth it. I was even awarded Asian Best Lifter Award on an Asian platform. After winning the Asian medal, I was selected to represent our country at Commonwealth Powerlifting Championship, which was held at Newfoundland, Canada. And I went to win not 1, not 2, not 3, but 5 gold medals for India. It was a very big... Thank you. It was a very big moment for me and my entire family because we had waited 4 years for this. See, in my opinion, achievements will follow us if you're dedicated, hardworking, motivated, committed, and you should develop this habit of never to give up. I'll tell you an incident which happened to me last year. I was getting ready for the Asian Games. Like I already said, I'm a national record holder. I was getting ready to create a record on an Asian platform. The record there was 190 kg deadlift, and I already lifted 200 kgs 2 times in my gym. So I won't say I was confident. I was overconfident that I'm growing and creating a record this time. Just 20 days before the championship, I was pushing myself too hard. The rod slipped and it fell on my right hand, and it fractured my right hand. My humerus bone broke into 2 and my hand was hanging down. I was in severe pain. I was crying. I was not crying because of pain. I was crying because I had a competition coming up in 20 days and I did not know how I would manage with this injury. I wanted somebody to just come and tell me it's just a dislocation and not a fracture. I was immediately rushed to the hospital where they decided to do an emergency surgery. The surgery went on for 6 hours and they put a titanium plate which extends from my shoulder to elbow with 12 screws. Everybody told me my powerlifting journey is over. Even the doctors asked me to retire from sports. They said it would be very difficult to lift with a plate in hand. I was in total depression. There was not a day that went by without tears. All I kept saying is, why me? All I wanted to do is play for the country. I was in deep depression. Even the antidepressants were of little help. My entire family was worried for me. One day, my 12-year-old daughter, she confronted me. Why I'm letting myself so down when I've achieved so much? I told her, I'm growing old and I cannot lift weights like before. And she told me, age is just a number. And she reminded me, there's a long way to go. And she asked me, Mummy, are you making excuses? Her words touched me and I began to think. People told me, that I cannot become a doctor after marriage. I went to prove them wrong. They said, I cannot lift after having kids. I went to become a champion. And now they are saying, I cannot lift with a plate in hand. And I was determined to prove them wrong again. So I decided, I will take up this challenge. So I set off on this journey. I started off doing physiotherapy for a month. Then I joined a sports rehab center for 4 months. During these sessions, the pain used to be so severe, I used to feel like just giving it up. But my desire to achieve kept me going. Later, I started lifting light weights, initially with bamboo sticks. Then I went to lift heavy with the rod. 8 months later, there was a competition held in my district, and I took a bold decision of taking part. And you know what is the first thing I did? I called up my surgeon to find out if he was in town, just in case if I needed some tinkering work later. Nobody was happy with my decision, nor my family members, nor the doctors. My mother was furious at me. She screamed. She said, "You're not taking part in the competition." My husband and kids were like, "Please, enough, we had enough." But see, this was not about winning a medal. It was to prove to myself that I can overcome anything. So I decided I will take part. I participated. I gave my best. And guess what? I won gold. It was an amazing moment. I cannot even express it in words. There were so many emotions running inside me. Happiness, pride, a self-belief that nothing is impossible. I wanted to tell all those people who told me it was impossible that anything is possible if you have a strong willpower and never to give up attitude. Later, I realized it's okay to feel sad. It's okay to cry. It's okay to feel disappointed or depressed. See, these are all emotions of life. What's not okay is to be in the same situation and refusing to come out. That's not okay. See, it's very important to acknowledge these feelings, but it's equally important to find the strength and determination to rise above and move forward. After winning gold, there was no looking back. I went to win medals at the National Powerlifting Championship and now getting ready for my World Powerlifting Championship. Remember, nothing is impossible. When I can do it, you can do it too. All you have to do is see what you're good at. Focus on that. Put in few extra hours. Find a good mentor, and you will achieve whatever you want. So let's all go ahead and create a better nation. Thank you.